Welcome to my Allay breeder or duplicator or whatever it is they do-inator version 2. Breeding allays and getting them set up can often be a difficult task as they like to fly around a lot. And if one of them gets away before you've given it an item, it's as good as gone. And this is where version 1 of my Allay breeder comes into play. The idea is you have a little area where you can click in but the allays can't get out. And then when you want to get an allay out, it'll pull exactly one into this little chamber right here, and you can click on it, and then once you're ready, you can open the gate and let it out. Well, this design has a lot of problems with it, including the fact that as of 1.20, it no longer works. Well, version 2 addresses this problem and many more. The main new features are the added safety features. Like before, if you accidentally forget to close the gate, it'll go ahead and close it for you. However, now, clicking the button too many times in a row will not break it. And quite possibly my favorite feature of all is that, well, it uses a bit of boat magic so that it just simply cannot pull out the final allay. Aside from the safety features, you no longer have to climb up on top of the machine to reach the allays. You can just walk around and start breeding them. Unfortunately, the gap is a little smaller, but it's still plenty big enough to reach all the allays. And they also no longer bunch up against the trapdoor, as in this version, they realize that they actually cannot escape that way. Oh, and also, version 1 had this little detail where if you stood too close, it would, set you on fire. And I can proudly say that version 2 no longer has this feature. So a little bit about the inner workings here. To get the allays out, we simply dispense a boat and then break it in just the right position. Now, whenever we dispense a boat, it'll just automatically be clipped into whatever blocks happen to be there, which is very helpful. It'll then pick up 2 allays, and now we just push it back just far enough so that the back allay is just barely past the trapdoor, and we make it stop here by just having another block here that with just the right hitbox. And it's actually important that we have it this close because this makes it so that if there's only one allay, it's just barely still on the inner side of the trapdoor. Well, anyways, now we want to break the boat, and we're just going to push a lava cauldron in, but we need another block on the other side with just the right hitbox. Otherwise, the cauldron will just push the boat. But with this, the boat breaks, and both of the allays will be let out exactly where they were. Now, just to make sure that you know how to do this, to duplicate the allays, you'll just need some amethyst shards and a music disc. Any disc will do. Put the disc in the jukebox, and once the allays start dancing, you can use the shards on them to duplicate them. Yeah. At this point, there's no penalty for taking the disc out early, but do keep in mind, allays are some of the laggiest entities in the entire game, so do try to limit how many you keep in here at once. So last time I didn't include a tutorial because I thought nobody would actually want it that much, but turns out that video is now the most viewed on my entire channel. So let's get into the tutorial. For the materials, here's the materials that you're going to need. For the building blocks, just about any material will work. But for the trapdoors, some of them will need to be iron, so I'd recommend just making all of them iron to make things easier. For the logs, they do need to be logs, in the sense that they are not from the nether and they are not made of bamboo. And the chest does need to be a chest and not a barrel. There's also some items that you'll be needing along the way, but won't end up part of the actual build. You'll also need an allay at some point, and then, of course, a disc and some amethyst shards in order to actually use it. And once you have all of that gathered, go ahead and grab just these parts for now, and we will get started. So wherever you want your gate to be, you're going to go down 3 blocks, and have an upwards dropper behind it. And then from there, just follow what I do, and I'll speak up again when it's relevant. Alright, so at this point you should have 25 logs remaining, and we're going to go ahead and make the boat real quick. So just go ahead and boom. Now put one of them in the dispenser, which is the top one, and then fill all of the other things, the dropper, the hopper, and the hopper minecart. And with that, now you can go ahead and grab all of the other stuff, and we'll continue. So at this point, we need to put the allay in. So go ahead and bring it over, and just give it one of your building blocks, whatever block you've been building with. Give yourself a little bit of a spot to stand here, and then aim kind of at the middle of the amethyst shard and just drop an item. Now, if the allay isn't coming for it, you can simply throw an item upwards, and that'll generally get it over here. Once the allay starts going in, you want to start clicking on the cauldron so that the allay will go in, and just to do that again, so drop it in, and then hold down the right click right as the allay starts to go in, So once it's in, you place the block. Finally, just add a block here and a wall here. Bring over some amethyst shards and a disc, and you are ready to go.
Thank you for making it to the end of the video. YouTube Analytics tells me that only 7.8% of the first million natural numbers are actually prime. So let's see if we can change that. If it's not too much to ask, I would also love it if you were to subscript the 2 in H2O. And until next time,